come before me, you have to remember that with praise. Yeah. He said this is the purpose. This lets us know why we are to do so. And when you begin to praise the Lord, the psalmist says when the praises go up, those blessings come down. That's what motivates God when you begin to verbally say how you feel. And it's one thing to feel that way inside, and you're feeling it, but when you don't say it, it's something missing. Am I right about it? I know some parents love when their children let them know how they appreciate. Don't you, Miss Marie? When you're struggling and you give Sonny something that you gave Miss Marie help pay for Wakir to go away, amen, to Kansas City. And when Wakir was slacking off, I laid his behind out. I said, Miss Marie is doing all of this, and this is how you show her that you appreciate it. You're not showing her that you really appreciate what she's doing. But when you do show someone that you appreciate, oh, I know for me, that motivates me to do more. My young boxers, they are preparing for battle. I pulled them out of their homes. I put them in our gym. They're living there. They're sleeping there. All they do is eat, sleep, and train. I'm making machines out of it. And I try to make sure that they have something simple. Some of them don't have home-cooked meals. But when they come to the gym, I make sure that they have a nice hot meal. Sometimes breakfast, sometimes lunch, sometimes dinner. And then I said for the parents, I need for y'all to help me out. I'm training them, I'm doing all of this. If possible, can you guys pick a day and then cook for them, and then bring that in? Miss Marie volunteered. She made some good chicken wings. And Jules' mom sent some good spaghetti and chicken. And Ray's mom sent over some good stuff. And I said, how was the food? And they said, man, that food was good. I said, well, then call them and let them know whether or not the food was good. Well, I know, did they call you, Miss Marie? Sorry, no good. That's why she ain't cooking next weekend. Y'all ain't call her. But I know Jules' mom, they called her. And they just motivated her. And she just couldn't stop giggling. They all got on the phone and told her this food was good. This was the best spaghetti, and this was the best such and such, and I loved it. And I took her plate back to her, and I said, yeah, they said they liked the food. She was still gritty. Yeah, they liked it. You really believe they liked it? And when do you want me to cook again? I do it again. See, that's what motivates us. When people show that they appreciate what we've done. God is saying the same thing. The reason you can't get what you want is because you haven't thanked me for what I've always done. You haven't shown me that I've given you some blessings that you appreciate. He said, this is the purpose of why we pray. And I tell them, I lay their behinds out, Miss Marie. You can get them after service. Because when I cook and I take time, I want them to show me they appreciate it. Amen? We got some house rules. And number one in the house rule is keep the area clean. That's the biggest thing for me. So if you are not doing what I'm asking you to do, but I'm doing all these things for you, this is you showing that you don't appreciate it. Amen? So I know this moves me. Does it move you? Words. Does it move you? Okay, thank you very much. All right. Look what he says. He continues. He says, not only if we want to know the proper procedures for praise, do we have to watch how we come to his presence. He lets us know the purpose. Look at the last part of the purpose. He says, we are his people and the sheep of his pasture. He's letting us know the purpose again. He said, we are his people. He chose us. And we are the sheep. Now he's giving us the illustration of the sheep of his pastor. Now he's not saying pastor in the sense of the shepherd. He's saying pastor in the sense of the food. He said we are his sheep. The sheep are, the illustration is given is very dumb animals. There's no other way to say it. Sheep need a leader. They need to have someone that leads them along. And a sheep will graze on anything. If it's bad grass, they'll graze on that. But if it's good grass, they'll graze on that. But if there's any problems, if there's any insecurities, the sheep won't eat. So he's letting us know, you are eating from my pasture. The reason that you're able to function is because I'm giving you good food. Everybody here goes home at night. You might not have everything you want, but I don't see anybody looking skinny because you don't have anything to eat. I don't see you come here and you don't have the basic needs. He says, I'm giving you all the pastor that you need. He said, that is why you give me praise. He said, there's a purpose to this. He says, I give you all of the pastor that you need. So he talks about the presence, he talks about the purpose, and in the last part, he tells us about the prerequisites. He says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving. Get all 7 of these numbers right. Enter into his gate with thanksgiving and enter into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his holy name. Again, these are outward expressions. Now he's given us the illustration of how the people of Israel would come into the temple. He says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving. Now, in the outer courts, when the first temple was created or built by Solomon, the Jews were allowed to go a little bit further than the Gentiles. The Gentiles can only go into the outer courts. That is where they had to worship the Lord. You are still a part of the body of God, but there are only a certain a level of a proximity that you're allowed to enter. But as you go through one of the 13 gates, you had to be a Jew. Now for the women, they had a gate on the west side that they can now enter into this gate. And the Jews, the male Jews, can enter into the gate, and they went a little bit further and were able to get a little bit closer to God. So I can imagine, if I was a Jew, first of all, if I was a Gentile, I would be happy or giving thanks that I'm allowed to step into the presence of God. And if I was a Jewish woman or man, I would be even more thankful as I look back and I walk through the gate, and there are some that can't get any further, but because of my relationship with God, he's saying, I'm letting you move along. He said, when you enter into my gate, you do so with thanksgiving. Everybody doesn't have this opportunity. Then he says, when you enter into my courts, then you begin to pray. As you get closer to me and you realize that you are serving the Almighty God, the one that is creator of all, the one that came and died for us, the one that has sacrificed everything for us, he said, you start to praise. You couldn't go into the first temple and just walk right in and have a solemn look and just walk through and say, I'm praising him in here. This is where God said, you walk through that gate with thanksgiving. Just being thankful that I'm there. Then he said, once you enter into my court, you start praising. Now you might praise him like this. You might praise him like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is not praising. This would not work for me. If I just did something great, if I just won the national championship with my fighters, I would hope that the people that are cheering for me do a little bit more than just wave your hand and say, good job. And every now and then, you don't even have to get a word, just get a little utterance. That would do for me. This is where God said, that's how you come to me with praise. Now, I'm not going to mess up again. I'm not going to go back to leading that wrong number. I'm going to make sure that my congregation understands the proper procedures for praise. He says, and bless his name. The only way to bless his name is to open your mouth. You can't just bless his name. This is an outward expression. You can't do this in your mind. Pastor, I'm reflecting. I don't want to miss nothing you're saying. I'm trying to write it down. I'm telling you what the word of God says. Open your mouth and bless his holy name. He said, this is the prerequisite. You can't begin to come before me if you don't do these things. Look at the last part. He says, watch this. This is good now. He says, for the Lord, this is that holy name of God is good. Watch this. And his mercy is everlasting. And his truth endureth to all generations. As he continues with the prerequisite, he said, the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting. It didn't say his grace. It said his mercy is everlasting. Now, understanding the Jews' thought pattern in the Old Testament, the word here for all generations or endureth means a circular a pattern. It wasn't until the New Testament that they began to look at time as linear, meaning a beginning, an alpha and omega. They saw it as circular, meaning that it was just a pattern or perpetual motion. If God is going to forgive me, then he's going to give me that mercy continually. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. If I please God by properly praising him, he said his mercy is going to endure to all generations. It's going to be a cycle. He said, if Pastor Dave, if you can get this right, my mercy is not only going to endure to you, my mercy is then going to move to your children. He said, and if you continue to praise me, you're going to teach them how to praise me, and then they'll probably praise me. And then remember that grandbaby that you just had born a couple of days? He said that's going to be a part of that generation, and he will receive that mercy. This is what we need. Sometimes we are looking for more than grace. Grace is giving us something we don't deserve. Mercy is saying, I'm withholding something that you do deserve. I know for me, I need some mercy. Because I don't always act like a pastor. I don't always speak like a pastor. I don't always do things that a pastor should do. So every now and then, I have to go back to God's mercy and say, can I get a do-over? Can we start again? Because I mean, somebody here know what I'm talking about. This is where he said, my mercy is going to endure to all generations. Amen. Sister Steve, I know y'all love that little boy. Don't you want his mercy to go to him? I don't want to be the cause of my children not being blessed, my grandchildren not being blessed, because he said, if my mercy endures to all generations, if you don't praise me properly, guess what else? Come on. He said, my wrath is going to endure to all generations. I got my grandchildren here. I want the best for them, for their children. I don't want to stand in the way of them being blessed. This is where God said, I'm trying to teach each one the proper procedures of prayer. The first thing you have to do is remember how to come before his presence. In closing, we were at the boxing event yesterday, and I saw something really ironic. As we were about to begin, as most sporting events, we say the Pledge of Allegiance. And when someone begins to play or sing the Pledge of Allegiance, it is automatic that you understand that you stand. This is required. And even more, they don't do it as much. I know we were taught in school that you would put your hand over your heart. And this was the pledge that you would give. And when the song began to play, everyone in the audience stood up and they put their hands, some over the chest, others stood up and they recited. But what they did is recognize that during this time, this is when we all participate in this part of the show. There was one individual. He was obviously a Muslim brother, had the long beard, and he just decided he wasn't going to participate. He didn't do it rudely. He just put his head down and said, I'm not going to do it. Now, we know that in football, what's that quarterback? Kyle Kaepernick? He took a stand where he wasn't going to stand, when he was supposed to stand. The instructions are very clear for this country. When you hear that, whether you are a Donald Trump fan, whether you are a Barack Obama supporter, it doesn't matter. When you hear that, you are supposed to stand. And when you don't, is he still looking for a job? Still looking for a job right now because he chose to take that stand that I'm not going to be obedient. Here's what God is saying to you. I'm laying out some specific ways that I want you to come before my presence. He said, I want you to understand the purpose. And he said, if there's a prerequisite for how you praise me. Now, if you choose not to do it, you take a stand, that's past the talking. I don't want to open my mouth. That's not my personality. This is you saying, God, I'm not willing to do what you called me to do. And whatever blessings you forfeit, here's where he said, I've given you the proper procedures for this praise. Let's give the Lord a hand.